me to tell when it's live. Two 2-0 from Beasley. First pitch thrown at 4:53, so a bit of an early start here. Scheduled to start at 5, but got things going a little early. Beasley misses again outside, 3-0 to Harding's leadoff hitter in the top of the first. That's high, 4-pitch walk from Mackenzie Chappell, who scoots down to first base, and the Lady Bisons have a base runner. Chappell, a threat to steal. Harding steals a lot of bases. The Lady Bisons 24 stolen bases in 25 attempts in 9 games so far in 2021. Chappell 6 for 6 on thefts. And Beasley 5 balls in a row to start the top of the first. She's having trouble finding the zone as Hannah Jones hits for the Lady Bisons. Chappell a lefty hitter. Jones now a righty hitter. 1-0. Beasley gets a strike called outer half, 1-1 to Harding's shortstop Hannah Jones. Chappell on first. Jones digs in 1-1. Chappell takes off, and she'll have to return to the base as Jones fouls it off down the third base line. Beasley ahead 1-2. Henderson State going with the freshman Leanne Beasley against the Lady Bisons tonight. Beasley, a righty, freshman out of Horatio, Arkansas. Into the windup, 1-2. Chappell takes off again. Ball is low, 2-2, and Chappell slides in feet first safely. Harding with a runner in scoring position here in the top of the first. The 1-2 from Beasley was off speed. It hit the dirt in front of the dish. 2-2 now from Beasley. Jones reaches out, sends it through the right side past a diving Monica Monreal at first. And Harding has runners on the corners as Chappell moves to third. First pitch to Nicole Shano. Shano takes for a strike, and Harding has their second stolen base of the inning. Runners on second and third, nobody out for Harding in the top of the first. Beasley misses low with the 0-1. Count goes 1-1. Harding comes into this one on a 3-game winning streak after sweeping Arkansas Tech in a Tuesday night doubleheader. 1-2 now as Beasley finds the outside corner with a fastball. Shano hitting .333 for a young Lady Bison's team, just one senior in the lineup for Harding today. 1-2. Shano stays alive, fouls it off into the netting behind home plate. Count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 on for Shano in the top of the first. Shano hits it hard right at Monreal. Monreal steps on first, comes home. Throw low. Short hops Moore, who can't pick it up off the turf, and Harding scores as Chappell slides in safely. Harding pushes across 1 run with an RBI ground out from Shano. As Fields, Harding's first baseman, bats, squares to bunt, pulls it back. Harding attempting the safety squeeze, but Fields takes ball 1. Fields, just one of 2 Harding hitters in the lineup with an average below 300, but a hit pushes her back up over the 300 threshold. She's at 296. 1-0, swung on and fouled off, out of play. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1-0 ball game. Harding leads, top of the first. Harding started the inning with a Chappell walk. She stole second. Jones singled through the right side to advance Chappell to third. Then Jones stole second. Chappell scored on an RBI ground out from Chanot, and Jones moved to third as Beasley misses on the 1-1. 2-1. Fields again batting .296 on the season. Has not been great with runners in scoring position, just batting .200 in this opportunity. That's inside. 3-1 now. Beasley has struggled with control early on. Her first 5 pitches of the day were balls, and she's behind 3-0 now to Harding's cleanup hitter, Amanda Fields. Fields walks on 5 pitches, and that is the second free pass that Henderson State's freshman hurler Leanne Beasley has offered here in the top of the first. We'll have a quick mound visit and step away on the Henderson State Sports Network. Back in action, runners on the corners for the Lady Bisons. Top of the first, Harding already up 1-0. Beasley again misses outside, and Harding has their 3rd stolen base of the inning, as Henderson State did not attempt to throw down on Fields, who jogs into second. Harding may have tried to get the double steal going. Henderson State didn't bite, but Harding has another stolen base. 2-0 now. Beasley missed again. Henderson State doesn't have anybody warming up in the bullpen, but they might need somebody soon. Beasley has really struggled with control here in the top of the first. 2-0 to Peterson. Beasley gets a call in the outer edge. 2-1. Ashlyn Peterson, one of 4 freshmen in the lineup for Harding today. Batting .296, leads the team with 10 ribbies and 3 doubles. Takes another fastball outside. 3-1. Beasley has already walked 2 in the inning. Walked Chappell to lead things off. Just walked Fields. 3-1. That may have been ball 4 that Peterson just swung out. She fouls it off straight back. 3-2. First base is vacant. Jones on third. Fields on second. Harding has already scored 1 in the inning. 3-2. That's high, and Beasley has walked the bases loaded with 1 out here in the top of inning number 1. And even as you get to the bottom part of Harding's lineup, there are no breaks. Briley Faringa, the lone senior in the Harding lineup, digs in. She's batting .300. First pitch to Faringa. Inside 1-0. Faringa making her 6th start in Harding's 10th game, and we'll have another mound visit as the Reddies head coach David Martinez wants to talk it over with his freshman pitcher, Leanne Beasley. We'll take a break on the Henderson State Sports Network. Henderson State in a jam, top of the first. Harding has the bases loaded, 1 out. As Beasley gets a strike, evening the count 1-1. Briley Faringa hits for Harding, bases loaded. Faringa skies the 1-1 shallow right field basket catch made by the second baseman Zoe White, who turns and fires home. The runner Jones at third stayed put. Great play by Zoe White to make a running catch in shallow right field, and if Jones had taken off and tried to score on the sac fly, she would have been dead to rights. Henderson State can get out of this, allowing just 1 run. That would be a victory for the Reddies. Base is still loaded as Blankenship digs in for Harding. Blankenship takes a ball low, 1-0. You know you're a good team when your 7-hitter's batting .360 and is second on the team in slugging percentage. That is Blankenship's line this season. And Blankenship, a soft single into shallow left, lands just in front of a charging Kaylee Reese. And Harding doubles their lead with just their second hit of the inning. The problem for Beasley, the Ready starters, has been the walks. 3 walks in the top of the first for Beasley. First pitch swinging by Cabana. She grounds it to third. Jordan fields and fires across the diamond for the third out of the inning, but Harding gets 2. 2 runs on 2 hits for the Lady Bisons in the top of the first. Reddies bat when we come back on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. Henderson State down 2-0 as we begin in the bottom of the first. Reddies get their first crack at it with the bat in their hands. They start things off with Caitlin O'Quinn, their center fielder. O'Quinn, a slapping strike 1 as she moved ahead and eventually out of the box, but came up empty against Harding's sophomore starter, Lily Tansky, who has been remarkable this season. 0-1 from Tansky, make it 0-2. Harding scored 2 runs on 2 hits in the top of the first. They also got help from 3 walks issued by Henderson State's starting freshman pitcher, Leanne Beasley. 0-2 to O'Quinn. O'Quinn strikes out on 3 pitches, and Tansky off to a solid start here. So the Reddies down 2-0, and unfortunately for HSU, 2 runs has been more than enough for Lily Tansky. In many starts this season, Tansky no-hit Arkansas Tech just a few nights ago on Tuesday. In a game Harding won 1-0. She allowed 1 walk, obviously no hits, a complete game shutout for Tansky. Tansky has struck out 29 batters in 32 and a third innings coming into this one and walked just 2 all year. 1-0 to Reese. She swings through 1-1. This Harding team is very young, very good. They've had a very impressive start. 1-1 to Reese. Reese fouls it back, 1-2. Harding started the year with a 4-game sweep. They beat everybody they faced in the UAH Charger Chillout, including an 8-0 victory over the number 10 team in the country, Trevecca Nazarene. 1-2 to Reese. She pops it up on the infield. The shortstop, Jones, calls for it. Her third baseman, Shano, moves out of the way, and Jones gloves it for the second out of the inning. O'Quinn struck out on 3 pitches. Reese goes down with a toothless pop-up, and Tansky looking to retire the Reddies in order here in the bottom of the first. Reddies down 2-0. Harding 2 runs on 2 hits in the top half of the inning. Abby Moore digs in and takes a strike right down Broadway. Abby Moore has played third. She's been the designated hitter, but today she catches. Tansky takes a look at the armband on the forearm and goes off speed. Changeup, 0-2. Tansky out of the circle, now comes back in and steps on the rubber. Struck out O'Quinn on 3 pitches, looking to strike out Moore here on 3 pitches. 0-2 to Abby. Abby sends a high fly ball foul, just a little out in front. Moore, the 5'5" sophomore out of North Richland Hills, Texas, for the Reddies, trying to start a little 2-out rally for HSU, who trails 2-0 bottom of the first. 0-2 from Tansky. This is fouled back right over our heads in the press box right behind home plate. Moore got back on track on Tuesday. Went 1 for 3 in both games in the Tuesday doubleheader against Ouachita Baptist. Another 0-2 to Moore. A lazy looper into foul territory down the third base line. Shano turns her shoulders and makes a running catch for the third out of the inning. Harding will bat when we come back. Lady Bisons lead 2-0 as we head to the top of the second. Welcome back to D. White Field. Reddies trail 2-0, top of the second. Harding sent 8 hitters to the plate in the first. They'll have 9-1-2 due up here in the second. Fraley 9, Chappell 1 as the order resets, and then Jones 2 as Madison Fraley takes a strike on the outer half from Leanne Beasley. 0-1 from Beasley. 1-1. Fastball outside, evening the count. Fraley hitting ninth, playing right, so 9 in the lineup and 9 in the field. 1-1 to Fraley. Slaps this one foul out of play. Bit behind it for Fraley. Beasley now working her second inning. Had control issues in the first. Walked 3. Gave up 2 runs on 2 hits. 1-2 from Beasley. Low and outside, 2-2. Fraley, batting .400, has started all 9 games for the Lady Bisons this year. That .400 average is second on the team. 2-2. Fraley reaches out. Soft ground ball down the third base line. Jordan charges, crouches gloves, and fires for the first out of the inning as Fraley is retired. 5-3. The lineup resets. Mackenzie Chappell digs in for the second time in the second inning. 2-0 Lady Bisons in front in the top of inning number 2. Chappell takes a rising fastball for a strike at the belt. 0-1 to Chappell, who walked and scored for the Lady Bisons in the first. Her run was the game's first. Beasley misses outside. 1-1. Beasley rocking fire. 1-1. Gets a strike called. 1-2. Beasley, a much better start in inning number 2 than inning number 1 when she allowed the first 2 Lady Bisons to reach. Beasley spins the ball in her hand. Comes set, comes to the plate. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Beasley gets her first K of the day as Chappell waves at an outside fastball. Chappell was leaning down the first base line as she swung through, and Beasley has retired the first 2 hitters here in the top of the second for the Reddies as Hannah Jones digs in. Jones takes an off-speed pitch that hits the turf before coming to the plate. 1-0, easy take from Jones, who singled through the right side and scored in the top of the first. Jones is 2 for 2. She loops a line drive over the head of the Reddies first baseman Monreal. A lazy line drive for Jones, and she's got 2 hits on 2 opposite field singles. The right-handed hitter has gone to right twice now, and Harding has a base runner with 1 out and 2 retired in the second. Nicole Shano digs in. Jones takes off, throw down to second, not in time. Harding has another stolen base as Jones slides headfirst into second. Harding stole 3 bases in the first, so now 4 stolen bases on the game. 1-0. Hit hard right at the Reddies shortstop Ashlyn Taylor. She gloves it and fires to first for the 3rd out of the inning, retiring Shano. So Beasley, after giving up 2 runs on 2 hits in the first, she works around a 2-out single in the second, and the Reddies will bat down 2-0 when we return on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field on the campus of Henderson State University. A humid Friday evening here in Arkadelphia. Temperatures in the mid-70s. The warmest it's been here in the town of Arkadelphia in the year of 2021. Finally starting to feel like spring. Hard to believe that we had a snowstorm that put about 8 inches of white powder on this field a couple weeks ago. First pitch, the Reddies cleanup hitter, Addie Jordan, is taken for strike one. Henderson State went down in order, 1, 2, 3, in the bottom of the first. Jordan, the freshman, cleaning up, batting third for the Reddies, trying to give HSU their first base runner. 0-1. Jordan fouls it straight back. 0-2. Tansky in the bottom of the first struck out O'Quinn on 3 pitches and induced pop-ups by Reese and Moore. Tansky, another look at the forearm, getting her instructions as the 0-2 was fouled off by Jordan. Jordan sends it high and long into the Henderson State bullpen down the left field line, but count remains the same, 0-2. Reddies again looking for their first base runner as they bat here down 2-0 in the bottom of the second. 0-2 to Jordan. That's taken for a ball outside, 1-2 from Tansky. As I said, in the bottom of the first, Harding's 2 runs might be all Tansky needs. She no-hit Arkansas Tech back on March 9th, gave up 1 walk, struck out 7. 1-2, that's Tansky's second K of the day. She goes off speed, and Jordan goes down looking with a backwards K for the first out of the bottom of the second. Tansky coming into this one, 5 starts, 32 in the third innings pitched, given up just 3 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 29. 2 runs more than enough run support for Tansky. First pitch to the Reddies' first baseman, Monica Monreal, is taken for a ball. That was low as Tansky went to the breaking ball. Tansky glances at the forearm. Rock and Fire comes home. Doesn't get the call. Fastball runs in. 2-0. Monreal splits the order for the Reddies, batting 5th. She's a 5'5 sophomore out of the Lone Star State. Monreal, the only HSU player with multi-hit games in both games of Tuesday's doubleheader. 2-0 to Monreal. That's taken low. 3-0, and Henderson State 1 pitch away from having their first base runner, as Tansky has retired the first 4 Henderson State batters she has seen as the Reddies work with 1 out and nobody on in the bottom of the second. 3-0 to Monreal, and a 4-pitch walk for Monica Monreal, who has an easy time against Tansky, and a very, very rare walk for Tansky. Again, coming in, Tansky had only walked 3 batters in 32 in the third inning, so pretty rare to see Tansky walk anybody. She hasn't given up more than 1 walk in any outing, so that might be all the free passes she gives to the Reddies, as Monreal is on first and Zoe White bats. White pops it foul. The third baseman, Shano, has it pop out of her glove. Shano was over by the Reddies' dugout on the third base line, reached out with the offhand, with the right hand, and found the netting to position herself so that she wouldn't run into the dugout, but just couldn't secure the catch, and White has another chance. 0-1. White fouls it off. 0-2. Monreal on first. Reddies have 1 on, 1 out. Bottom of the second. Harding up 2-0. There were 2 runs on 2 hits in the top of the first. 0-2 to White. Check swing. White stays alive. She fouls it off into the on deck circle to the right side of the batter's box. Wind gusting out to right field. So White, if she goes the other way, could be helped by a little bit of a vortex. 0-2 to White. She sends it to right, but it tails out of play. White continues to battle down 0-2 with Monreal on first and 1 out. here in the bottom of the second. White, a 5'3" freshman out of Plano, Texas. Did play last year, but everybody gets their eligibility back after the COVID-shortened 2020 season. White again stays alive with the 0-2. Tansky goes with a breaking ball, but can't get White to swing through. White stays alive. Tansky looking for her third K. Both Reddies who have laid off the first and the second gone down by way of the strikeout as White takes the first ball of the at-bat, high and outside from Tansky, now 1-2. A good battle from White here. After getting behind quickly 0-2, she's fouled off a handful of pitches, but Tansky's still ahead. 1-2, here it comes. This is hit hard on the left field line, but it hooks foul. It landed in play, but off the wall that runs down the left field line. White got a good piece of it, but just could not keep it straight. And the count remains the same, 1-2. White looking to tie this game with one swing of the bat. She is the team leader in home runs with 2 long balls this season. 1-2 to White. That's taken low, and it gets through the legs of the catcher, Faringa. Monreal slides to second safely in the conventional double play. Taken off the board now for the Lady Bisons, as Monreal goes to second, and the Reddies have a runner in scoring position with 1 out and 1 on. In the bottom of the second, White, a fantastic at-bat. Here comes the 2-2 from Tansky. This is hit hard and high. Shallow left field. Blankenship calls off the shortstop, Jones, and makes the play about 5 or 6 feet into the outfield. And after a long at-bat, a long battle, Tansky wins and retires White, who pops up and out to the left fielder for the second out of the bottom of the second. Henderson State, though, with a base hit to the outfield, probably scores their first run of the game, as there are 2 outs, and Monreal, who stands on second, will be running on contact. Morgan Reeves digs in, the righty hitter, takes a ball inside. Reeve, 5'10" freshman out of Frisco, Texas, went to Frisco Lone Star High School. Reeve playing in her 11th game for the Reddies and starting her 8th. 1-0 to Reeve. Reeve pops this one up down the left field line. Blankenship, a long run, but makes the catch in foul territory to record the 3rd out. So Tansky works around a 1-out walk, and the Reddies come up empty in the bottom of the second. We'll go to the 3rd when we come back on the Henderson State Sports Network. Top of the 3rd here at D. White Field. Reddies down 2-0 to the visitors, the Harding Lady Bisons. Harding comes into this one 7-2 overall, 3-2 in the GAC. Henderson State trying to get going. Reddies just 3-11, 2-6 in conference play. First pitch to Fields, Harding's first baseman and cleanup hitter. She swings at it, grounds out to second, as Zoe White makes the play for the first out here in the top of the 3rd. Ashlyn Peterson now digs in for the Lady Bisons. Peterson DHing and splitting the order, batting fifth. Takes a ball outside, 1-0 for the lefty hitter Peterson. Peterson swings and fouls this one off, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the third, Harding leads 2-0. The Lady Bisons got their runs in the top of the first. Lashano ground out, scored Chappell after Chappell walked, stole second, and was advanced to third on a single. And Blankenship singled to left field, scoring Jones, who singled through the right side, stole second, and was advanced on the Chanot ground out. 1-2 now from Beasley. This is hit hard right at the Reddies center fielder. O'Quinn takes one step in, turns, flips her shoulders, and makes an over-the-shoulder catch in front of the warning track. Nice play by O'Quinn. And Beasley has settled in here, retiring the first two Lady Bisons in the top of the third. First pitch swinging by Harding catcher's Faringa, and she pops out. The Reddies right fielder, Larry, calls off her center fielder colleague O'Quinn, calls off the second baseman White, and Harding goes down in order for the first time today. A lightning quick inning by the Reddies freshman pitcher Leanne Beasley, and the Reddies will try to make some noise when we come back. Bottom of the third coming up on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field on the campus of Henderson State University. The Reddies down 2-0 as we start the bottom of the third. The Reddies pitcher, Leanne Beasley, will hit. She bats eighth for the Reddies, so it'll be 8-9-1 in the bottom of the third. Beasley swings at the first pitch from her counterpart, Lily Tansky. Fouls it off, 0-1. Tansky has been as good as advertised. 2+ innings now. No hits, 1 walk, 2 Ks. 0-1 to Beasley. Strike 2, Beasley swings through. Comes up empty. Tansky. No hit Arkansas Tech on Tuesday. Henderson State looking for their first hit here this afternoon. 0-2. Now 1-2 as Tansky misses wildly over the head and glove of Harding's catcher Faringa, but nobody on the base path, so no issue for Tansky, who wastes one. And the count goes to 1-2 on the Reddies' right-handed hitter. Beasley swings through a 1-2 fastball, couldn't catch up to the high heat, and Tansky has her third strikeout. Tansky now has struck out the leadoff hitter in each of the first 3 innings for the Reddies. O'Quinn struck out to lead off the first. Jordan struck out to lead off the second. And now Beasley strikes out to lead off the bottom of the third. Ashlyn Taylor digs in. She keeps the bat on her shoulders, takes it for a ball outside, 1-0. Taylor batting ninth, playing short for the Reddies today. 1-0. Taylor fouls it straight back, just missed it. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Reddies trail 2-0. Bottom of inning number 3. Harding got both in the top of the first. 2 runs on 2 hits. They were also helped along by 3 walks by Henderson State's starter Leanne Beasley. 1-1. Taylor fouls this one off. High fly ball fouled on the left field line. Mallory Brewer, who warms up for the Reddies in the bullpen, picks it up and gets it back to the Henderson State dugout. Ashlyn Taylor has been a good 2-strike hitter in her career for the Reddies. Battles 1-2 here. Pops it up. Will it stay in play? The third baseman, Shano, over to take a look, but runs out of room as the deflects off the top of the Reddies dugout down the third base line. Taylor stays alive, 1-2. Taylor trying to get it going. Had a very slow start to the season, but went a combined 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run scored in the doubleheader against Ouachita Baptist on Tuesday. The Reddies really needed Taylor to pick up her play. She takes a 1-2 fastball outside, 2-2. Taylor bats 136 for her career. Taylor is a 328 hitter. Taylor led the Reddies in average in the last 2 seasons. 2-2 to Taylor. Line drive foul. Again over to Mallory Brewer in the bullpen. Taylor with a good battle here. Trying to tag the Reddies' first hit. With 1 out and the bases empty in the bottom of the third. Reddies down 2-0. As Tansky comes to the plate, 2-2. High and outside. Taylor leaves it out there, and the count goes full 3-2. A great at-bat for the local product, Ashlyn Taylor. Taylor went to high school not 5 minutes away at Arkadelphia High. 3-2 from Tansky. Again, pounded, foul. Mallory Brewer, who's warming up in the bullpen, can barely get a pitch off because she's worried about these foul balls off the bat of Taylor. Taylor, the righty hitter, digs back in. Impressive battle between 2 great players. 3-2 from Tansky. Taylor singles into left field. It caroms off the left fielder Blankenship, but fortunately for the Lady Bisons, it deflects right into the glove of the center fielder Chappell, who gets it back to second base and keeps Taylor at first. But Taylor, with one of her best at-bats, if not her best at-bat of the season, is 1 for 1 and has a 3-game hitting streak. As the Reddies finally tag Tansky and have their first hit in the bottom of the third here. And a good time for it, with 1 out and 1 on now, as Taylor stands on first and the Reddies order resets. Caitlin O'Quinn digs in. O'Quinn, the best average for the Reddies, came into this one batting .415. No other Reddie above .330. O'Quinn pulls the bat back, but takes a strike. Fastball on the outer edge by Tansky. Corner infielders, Shano at third, fields at first, playing slightly in, as Quinn slaps it shallow left, and it falls in front of Blankenship once more for the second time this inning. Taylor pauses and then slides into second. Couldn't get all the way off first base because it looked for a second like Blankenship might have a shot at that ball. Taylor couldn't risk getting picked off at first if Blankenship had made the catch, and Henderson State has back-to-back hits now. In the bottom of the third, as the Lady Bisons talk it over as an infield in the circle. Henderson State with a pair of hits on Tansky, and that is easier said than done. Tansky no-hit Arkansas Tech on Tuesday. The outing before that went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits and 1 run to Ouachita Baptist. Tansky came into this outing with a .65 ERA. Reddies with 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the third. Henderson State's lefty hitter and left fielder Kaylee Reese digs in and swings at the first pitch from Tansky. She swings through it. Tansky looks to the dugout, gets the pitch instruction from her head coach, Phil Berry, and comes to the plate, misses with the 0-1. Now 1-1. Reese popped out to the shortstop Jones in the first. Big spot for Reese in the third. Reddies down 2-0 with 2 runners on base. Taylor on second, O'Quinn on first. 1-1 to Reese. Fouls it straight back. 1-2. 2 on, 1 out for the Reddies. Bottom of the third. Harding up 2-0. They have the game's only runs in the top of the first. 2 runs on 2 hits. Again, helped along by 3 walks issued that inning by Beasley. 1-2 from Tansky. Again, Reese fouls it back. 1-2. Count stays the same. Reese came into this one with the Reddies' third best average on the team, 279. But been better. The runners in scoring position, batting .333 this year. 1-2 to Reese. Pops it up. It tails into the netting. And Henderson State gets a break as Harding's catcher Faringa was camped out in front. But it skims against the netting. And Reese continues to battle here in a 1-2 count. Taylor on second, O'Quinn on first. Back-to-back singles for the Reddies with 1 out in the bottom of the third. Reese stays alive once more. Fouls it up and out of play over our heads here in the press box. Tansky has worked 2 1/3 innings so far. 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 Ks. But the Reddies have not made it easy on her. They've battled in a lot of 2-strike counts. White, Taylor, and now Reese really making Tansky work. 1-2. Another 1-2 coming up. Reese fouls it back. .54 pitches now from Tansky. This next one will be number 55. So Tansky has had to work. She's gotten 7 outs, but it's taken her 55 pitches. So the Reddies averaging about 8 pitches per at-bat. 1-2 to Reese. Pops it up right side of the infield. It drifts into foul territory. The first baseman, Fields, makes the play about 3/4 of the way down the first base line, and Tansky wins a long battle with the Reddies veteran left fielder Kaylee Reese. 2 outs and 2 on now as Abby Moore digs in. Reddies down 2-0, bottom of the third. Taylor on second, O'Quinn on first. Moore, Henderson State's catcher and 3-hitter, fouls the first pitch of the at-bat up and out of play. Moore fouled out to third to end the first. 0-1 to Moore. Henderson State looking to get on the board here with a 2-out ribby from the sophomore. Tansky, another look at that instructional pad on the forearm. Comes to the plate, 0-1. This is hammered foul by Moore. Count 0-2. Tansky close to 60 pitches now. More than 2/3 of them have been strikes. 0-2 to Moore. Tansky looking for her 4th K. Doesn't get it, but she induces the pop-up. Tansky, the pitcher, makes the play, fields her position just in front of the circle. So the Reddies with 2 hits on the bottom of the third, but they strand 2, and they remain scoreless. Harding in front, 2-zip. We go to the 4th on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. Reddies trail 2-zip. Top of the fourth. Leanne Beasley, after giving up 3 walks, 2 runs, and 2 hits in the top of the first, has really settled in here. Harding bats with Chelsea Blankenship, the righty hitter. She swings at the first pitch of the inning, fouls it down the third base line, ground ball. 0-1 now to Blankenship, who had an RBI single that drove home the second run Harding scored in the top of the first. 0-1. Taken low and inside, skips off the turf. 1-1. From Beasley. Hit hard, another ground ball down the third base line. That was closer to being fair. But 1-2. So Beasley, again, after allowing 3 walks, 2 hits, and 2 runs in the first, worked around a 2-out single in the second and retired Harding in order in the third. 1-2 to Blankenship. Another foul ball. Another one down the third baseline. "54 pitches from Beasley, 30 of them strikes. So a little under 60% strike rate from the freshman. Another 1-2. Off speed. Good piece of defensive hitting by Blankenship to just foul it off and look for something better. Fouled it into the netting, right side of home plate. Beasley, 3+ innings now. 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 1 K. 1-2 to Blankenship. High and outside, easy take for Harding's left fielder, who was busy in the bottom of the third. Reddies singled just in front of her twice, but the Reddies stranded 2. And they're still looking for their first run. Blankenship, again, another foul ball, another one down the third base line. Blankenship, good battle here for the Lady Bisons. Blankenship, the 7th hitter for the Lady Bisons, so 7, 8, 9 due up for Harding in the top of the fourth. 2-2. Back up the box. Blankenship finally sends a ground ball fair, and she finds a hole in the defense with a ground ball with eyes. And Harding has their leadoff hitter aboard for the second time. Harding got the leadoff man on in the first with Chappell, who walked. And now Blankenship, a single back up the box to start the fourth. Blankenship on first. First pitch swinging by Cabana. Fielded by Beasley. She turns, fires to second. Taylor steps on the bag, fires to first for a 1-6-3 double play. Henderson State flashing the leather on the infield, and the Reddies clear the base paths and have 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. Nice play by the Reddies defense. Good play by Beasley to field that ball and fire accurately to Taylor. Taylor made a nice play to step on the bag and fire to first. Good footwork from Taylor, and the Reddies again clearing the base paths and have 2 outs now in the top of the fourth as Cabana grounds into a 1-6-3 double play. This brings up Fraley, who fouls off the first pitch of the at-bat. 0-1 to Fraley. That's outside. Evens up 1-1. Fraley 0 for 1. Grounded out to the third baseman, Addie Jordan, to lead off the second. 1-1 to Fraley. Off the end of the bat, foul. One, two, Beasley trying to get out of the fourth. Beasley, a solid outing, all things considered. She's given the Reddies bats a chance, but it was always going to be a tall order for the Reddies today against Lily Tansky, who no-hit Arkansas Tech on Tuesday and came into this one with a 0.65 ERA. Beasley back on the rubber, Fraley back in the box. 1-2 from Beasley. That's high. taken for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Harding leads 2-0. Top of the 4th. Bases are clear after the 1-6-3 double play following Blankenship's leadoff single. Another 2-2. Beasley gets her second K of the day. Fraley goes down swinging, and Henderson State will swing them when we come back on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. Reddies bat, bottom of the 4th. Reddies down 2-0. They got 2 hits in the bottom of the 3rd, but surrendered runners at 1st and 2nd. Addie Jordan leads off the inning for the Reddies. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it into the Reddies bullpen down the 3rd base line. Lily Tansky continues to work in the circle for the Lady Bisons. Tansky 3+ innings now, 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 Ks. 1 to Jordan. High and outside, 1-1. Jordan has been very impressive for the Reddies since arriving in Arkadelphia from Conway. She's played a big role for HSU. True freshman. Batting cleanup and playing third. She pops it up. Shallow center. Shortstop Jones makes the play and holds on to it. She was held up by her center fielder Chappell. Chappell and Jones almost collided there in the outfield, but Jones just holds on to it. I'm not sure if she even caught that in her glove. She just trapped it against her glove and held it on her body, but as long as you keep it off the ground, that's an out. Jordan retired with a pop out as Tansky has 1 gone here in the bottom of the 4th. Monica Monreal digs in, swings the first pitch of the at-bat, and fouls it back. 0-1. So that was the first time that Tansky did not strike out the leadoff hitter in the inning for the Reddies, but Henderson State still starts the inning with an out as Monreal swings at the 0-1 and lines it right at the center fielder Chappell, who takes 2 steps in and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Reddies, again, got their only 2 hits of the game in the bottom of the 3rd. They have not scored. Tansky came into this one with a 0.65 ERA. It's dropped below 0.6 as Zoe White takes a fastball high just above the belt, 1-0. Harding got 2 in the top of the 1st, and I said it, that might have been the only runs that Tansky needs. Henderson State trying to get the bats going. 1-0 to White. Foul ball into the Henderson State dugout. 1-1. White 0 for 1. Flew out to the left fielder Blankenship in the 2nd. Tansky, Harding's sophomore right-handed pitcher from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. 1-1 off the end of the bat, fouled on the first base line off of White's bat. Overcast skies, dark clouds on a Friday evening here in Arkadelphia. Not expecting any rain in the forecast. Just a humid spring evening. Temperatures in the mid-70s. 1-2 to White. Popped up. Shallow right center field to second baseman Cabana. Waves off 2 outfielders and makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. So after giving up 2 hits in the bottom of the 3rd, Tansky retires the Reddies in order in the 4th. We go to the 5th when we come back on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. 2 defensive changes for the Reddies as we enter the top of the 5th. Monica Monreal, who started the game at first, backs up and moves to right. Morgan Reeve, who started the game as Henderson State's designated hitter, will play first base, replacing Monreal, who moved to right. She replaces Krista Larry in the lineup. And finally, and probably most importantly, the Reddies also have a new pitcher. Leanne Beasley's day is done for now. Remember, in softball, pitchers can always come back in, so we may very well see Beasley again, but for the time being, it's going to be Mallory Brewer. Beasley went 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, gave up 2 runs, walked 3, and struck out 2. The majority of the damage, or all of the damage, most of the problems, I should say, that Beasley faced were in the first. Beasley gave up 2 hits, 3 walks, and 2 runs in the first, and was very good in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Beasley has given Henderson State a chance, but the Reddies have not gotten the bats going today against Harding's ace, Lily Tansky. Brewer will face Harding's leadoff hitter and center fielder Mackenzie Chappell to begin the top of the 5th. Chappell takes a fastball at the shins, 1-0. Harding leads 2-0, 1-0 from Brewer. Chappell swings through, 1-1. Nice velocity from Brewer. Looks like she's got a little extra mustard in the left arm today. 1-1 from Brewer, rocking fire. Hit hard by Chappell and through the left side of the infield. The Reddies' 3rd baseman, Jordan, went left. The shortstop, Taylor, went right, but neither could knock it down, and Chappell has reached safely for the 2nd time today. Chappell scored after walking to lead off the 1st for Harding. She leads off the 5th with a single through the left side. Don't be surprised if Chappell takes off here. Chappell already with 1 stolen base for Harding, and as a team, the Lady Bisons have stolen 4 bags. Brewer misses outside. Here's the 1-0. Chappell takes off, and she slides in without a throw as Moore couldn't get it out of the glove. 5th stolen base by the Lady Bisons. Count goes 1-1 as Jones swings through. Jones digs in 2 for 2. One of 2 Lady Bisons That's 2 for 2. Jones and Blankenship, both 2 for 2. Chappell with the hit moments ago. Only other Harding batter with a base knock. Harding 5 hits as a team. 2-1 from Brewer. Lined right at the Reddies' third baseman, Jordan. She gloves it. Quick reaction by Jordan to put the mid up and catch that pretty much defensively. Chappell returns to second as she froze on the line drive. That brings up Shano. 1 out and 1 on for Harding. Shano takes a strike inside corner, 0-1. Harding leads 2-0, top of the 5th. Lady Bison's got their 2 runs in the top of the 1st. Brewer to the plate, 0-1. Shano checks her swing. Strike called, even though Shano did not go around. Chappell on second after singling to the left side and stealing a bag. 0-2 from Brewer, looking for the K. Does not get it, high and outside. Easy take for Shano. Wind has been inconsistent today. It's been stagnant. It's blown into the face of the hitter. Now it's blowing out to right field. 1-2. Hit hard. Tailing away from the ready center fielder, O'Quinn, who runs this one down in the right center field gap to make the catch. Chappell tags at second and goes to third without a throw. So O'Quinn, the ready center fielder, got a nice jump on the ball and makes a running catch for the second out of the 5th inning. Brewer trying to work around a single as Amanda Fields, Harding's cleanup hitter, digs in and takes a ball low and outside, 1-0. Brewer on in relief of Henderson State's freshman starter Leanne Beasley. 1-0. 2-0. Fields 0 for 1, walked in the first, grounded out to the second baseman. Zoe White in the third. Hitters count 2-0. Off the end of the bat, slow roller to second. White charges, gathers, and underhand flips to first for the inning's final out. So Brewer works around a leadoff single and strands Chappell at third. 1 hit, 1 left for the Harding Lady Bisons in the 5th. Reddies still scoreless. We'll try to get the bats going when we come back, down 2-0 at the bottom of the 5th. Welcome back to D. White Field here on the campus of Henderson State University. Humid evening here in Arkadelphia. Mid-70s, cloudy skies. No rain in the forecast as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Reddies need to get the bats going. They're down 2-0. Only 2 hits for the Reddies so far today as Lily Tansky remains in the circle for Harding. And first pitch of the inning popped up by Reeve. Jones, the shortstop, runs to her left and makes the catch for the first out, 12 feet behind second base. Reeve now 0 for 2 as Leanne Beasley, the Reddies' starting pitcher today, digs in 0 for 1. First pitch to Beasley. right down Broadway, strike one. Beasley was solid in the circle for the Reddies, went 4 innings, gave up 4 hits and 2 runs, but kept the Reddies in it. Unfortunately, Henderson State has not been able to do anything with the bats. Harding leads 2-0, bottom of the 5th. 0-1 to Beasley. Beasley swings at some high heat and misses. 0-2. Beasley struck out in the 3rd, one of 3 strikeout victims of Tansky. Tansky 4 1/3, 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 Ks. 0-2 looking for K number 4. Gets it. Beasley swings through. Beasley a tough day at the plate. And Harding has 2 outs in the back pocket here. And the bottom of the 5th as Tansky is looking to retire 8 straight Reddies in order after allowing 2 hits in the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch taken for a ball inside by Ashlyn Taylor. Taylor had the first hit for the Reddies in the bottom of the 3rd, and one of 2 hits the Reddies have had all game. So Taylor 1 for 1. She's picked up her play at the plate after a slow start to the season. 1-0 to Taylor. Swings through the off-speed 1-1. So Taylor singled, O'Quinn singled, then Reese fouled out, Moore popped up. Tansky retired the Reddies in order in the bottom of the 4th, and 1 out away from retiring the Reddies in order in the bottom of the 5th. So if Tansky gets Taylor, it'd be 8 straight outs as she misses outside. 2-1 now the count. Two-1 to Taylor. 2-2. Taylor fouls it off. Out of play down the left field line. Tansky, another long look at the instructional pad on the forearm. 2-2. That's fouled off. Count remains the same. Ashlyn Taylor making her 10th start. Another 2-2. Taylor swings and misses down to 1 knee. And that ends the inning. Tansky retires the side, gets 2 strikeouts in the process. Henderson State trails 2-0. We'll go to the 6th on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. Well, at the start of the day, we didn't appear to have any rain in the forecast, but it's begun to trickle down here at D. White Field. A couple umbrellas as the skies and the clouds continue to darken. Mallory Brewer in the circle to start the top of the 6th. Gets a swinging strike 1 as Ashlyn Peterson swings through. Peterson DHing and hitting 5th for Harding, leading off the top of the 6th. It'll be 5-6-7 for the Lady Bisons due up. 0-1 to Peterson. Takes 1 outside, 1-1. Peterson leads off the inning. Batting .296, came into this one leading the team with 10 ribbies and 3 doubles. That's up and out of play, 1-2. So Brewer working in the 6th. She took over to start the 5th for Leanne Beasley, who pitched the first 4 innings for the Reddies. Beasley was solid, gave up 2 runs in the first, but kept Harding scoreless the rest of the way, 1-2. It's taken low and inside, 2-2. So Beasley and Brewer have kept the Reddies in it, but Henderson State just 2 singles against Harding's ace, Lily Tansky. 2-2 from Brewer. Off the end of the bat foul. Peterson stays alive. Brewer, who works quickly, back on the rubber, another 2-2. Popped up. It stays in play, and a basket catch made by Henderson State's backstop, Abby Moore. She ranged to her left and corrals it for the first out of the inning. So a battle won by Brewer. Brewer has been really solid in her last few outings. Got the first win of her 2021 season against Ouachita Baptist in the first half of the Tuesday night doubleheader. Brewer in that one went 7 innings, a complete game. 10 hits, 4 runs. Only 2 of them were earned. Walked 1 and struck out 5. 0-1 to Faringa. Now 1-1 as Faringa takes it outside. Brewer in the game before that pitched 3 scoreless innings against Arkansas Monticello, and the one before that against UAM, 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run. Off the bat of Faringa, ground ball up the middle, backhanded play by White. Can't make it. That'll be a base hit by Faringa. Even if White gloves that cleanly, she does not have a play at first. And Faringa just hits it hard enough and puts it back up the box for an infield single. So 1 on, 1 out now for the Lady Bisons as the Lady Bisons will have a pinch runner now. So Faringa taken off the base paths, but she will be able to re-enter. This is Kendall Trammell, whereas number 2, sophomore out of College Station, Texas. She takes off down to first. The throw gets past Taylor. It was a nice throw from Moore. It short-hopped her, but Taylor waved at it, missed. Ball skips into the outfield. It's backed up by O'Quinn at center. And Trammell has a stolen base. The pitch was a strike, 0-1 to Blankenship, who is one of 2 Bisons with a multi-hit game. 2 for 2, 2 singles. 0-1, now 1-1. Brewer misses low and outside. Harding trying to get some insurance runs. They lead 2-0, top of the 6th. 1-1 from Brewer. And that hits Trammell in the helmet. Luckily, she looks to be okay. She pops up quickly. And fortunately for Trammell, not only wearing the helmet, obviously, but also wearing the face mask. Harding now with 2 runners on and 1 out here in the top of the 6th as the rain has really started to come down hard here at D. White Field, and the spectators at our amphitheater-style seating are starting to clear out. We're going to stay in play, though, in the top of the 6th. 2 out, 1 on for the Lady Bisons as Brewer misses low and outside to the freshman Jordan Cabana. Cabana bats 8th for Harding, but leads the Lady Bisons in batting average, batting .522. That is astronomical for Cabana. Dangerous spot here. Henderson State trying to keep it close in the top of the 6th. They trail 2-0, but Harding trying to break this thing open. 1-0 to Cabana. Cabana slaps it right center field. It's going to drop and hit the wall. Luckily for the Reddies, it'll just be a single as Trammell at second and Blankenship at first had to wait for that ball to drop and make sure it wasn't caught by O'Quinn, the center fielder, who was sprinting to her left. And a one-out single off the wall by Cabana loads the bases with one out here in the top of the 6th as Madison Fraley digs in. Trammell on third, Blankenship on second, Cabana on first. Strike called on the outside corner. Trammell, just one quick note, she is pinch running for Briley Faringa, who had an infield single. 0-1. 0-2 now. Fraley moves up and out of the box while swinging, just fouls it off the end of the bat. 0-2. Brewer looking for a huge second out here with the bases loaded in the top of the 6th. Faringa singled to second, then was pinch run for. Trammell stole second. Blankenship was hit by a pitch, and Cabana singled to right field. 0-2. 1-2. Fraley takes a fastball outside. Fraley 0 for 2. Her first hit would be a big one. It could double the Harding lead. 1-2 to Fraley, the lefty hitter. Swing and a miss. Brewer gets her first K of the outing. It's a big one. That's the second out. The Reddies can end the inning in any bag as Harding has the bases loaded. So the Reddies looking for the force out anywhere they see fit. The order resets now with Mackenzie Chappell. Chappell takes one low, 1-0. Rain has slowed just a little bit, but it is steady. 1-0 from Brewer to Chappell. Swung on, hit hard right at the third baseman, Jordan. She gloves it, fires to first, and Harding gets 3 hits in the inning, but comes up empty. Henderson State still down 2-0. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th when we come back on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. Reddies trail 2-0, bottom of the 6th. Caitlin O'Quinn leading off. O'Quinn digs in 1 for 2 as she swings and pops up the first pitch of the inning, and third baseman Shano looks alive. She scurries into foul territory and makes the catch right at the coach's box in foul territory down the third baseline. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Tansky in the bottom of the 6th. Henderson State with 2 hits today. They both came in the bottom of the 3rd. They were back-to-back hits, but Henderson State left 2 on the base paths as Kaylee Reese has hit number 3. She swings at the first pitch she sees and lines it straight back up the box. Reese returns it to sender and singles to center. Henderson State with their 3rd hit. They have got 1 out and 1 on The tying run at the plate now as Abby Moore digs in. Reddies down 2-0. Bottom of the 6th. Harding got their 2 runs on 2 hits in the top of the 1st, also helped along by 3 walks. Abby Moore 0 for 2. Moore swings at the first pitch of the at-bat. Deep down the left field line, but it hooks foul. Moore got a nice piece of it, but couldn't keep it straight. So Reese's single back up the box was the first hit for the Reddies after Tansky had retired 9 straight Henderson State hitters. Henderson State still down 2-0, bottom of the 6th, 1 on, 1 out. Here's the 0-1 to Moore. Swung on, that's out of play. 0-2. Rain looks like it has ceased again for the moment. It started to trickle down, then it really started to pour, then steadied out, and now we're dry again, at least for the moment. Tansky asks for the pitching instruction from the dugout again. 0-2. Reese takes off. Moore fouls it off her lower body, and Reese will have to go back to first. So Moore, who bats for the Reddies, got off to a scorching start this season. Started the year 7 of 12 in her first 4 games, then was hitless in the next 4. Went 1 for 3 in both games of Tuesday's doubleheader. So trying to get some consistency with the bat. Moore hammers it down the left field line. That one was tattooed, but just a foul ball, and the count remains the same, 0-2. Henderson State has really battled with 2 strikes. Another 0-2 from Tansky. Reese takes off again. Throw down to second. Not in time. Good throw by the catcher Faringa, but just threw it to the right side of the bag as Reese slid in the other way, and she slides in safely. Tag not applied in time by Jones, and Henderson State now gets rid of the conventional double play and has a runner in scoring position with a 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Reddies down 2-0. Harding got their both runs in the top of the 1st. 1-2 to Moore. Fouled straight back. Count remains the same. Moore battling. 85 pitches. 66 strikes from Tansky. She has pounded the zone today. Strike rate for Tansky up over 77%. Tansky issued 1 walk. That was to Monica Monreal back in the 2nd. She's been in very few 3-ball counts. 1-2 to Moore. This is sent deep to left center field. That ball is gone, and this game is tied 2-2.
And that's a home run for Abby Moore.
The Reddies have battled at the plate all year, and they finally win one. Abby Moore with a great piece of hitting, and the Reddies have tied this ball game 2-2 in the bottom of the 6th. The Reddies coming into the 6th had 2 hits. Now they've got 2 runs, and we've got a brand new ball game here at D. White Field. Really impressive performance, a gritty performance from the Reddies today, who have battled a Harding team that was looking to pounce on HSU, scoring 2 in the 1st. But the Reddies settled in with the pitching staff and finally get the bats going in the bottom of the 6th. Henderson State gets a 2-run homer from Abby Moore, and that was gone off the crack of the bat, no doubt about it. Moore sends it deep into the abyss of the Arkadelphia evening, and the Reddies have tied it 2-2. We'll have some changes here at D. White Field and be back on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. The bottom of the sixth continues. The Reddies have tied it with a 2-run dinger from Abby Moore. 1 out, bases cleared. As Addie Jordan, the freshman, digs in. Jordan takes a strike inside corner, 0-1. Jordan 0 for 2 at the plate, but has been solid at in the field. Jordan, 1 put out, 3 assists, no errors for the Reddies. 0-1. Fouled up, out of play. Count goes to 0-2. So the Reddies finally get to Tansky. Henderson State entering the bottom of the sixth had 2 hits. Now they have 2 runs. Here comes the 0-2 to Jordan. Breaking ball. Tansky pulls the string a little too tight, misses badly. Opposite batter's box, 1-2. Brand new ball game, 2-2. Harding got 2 in the top of the first. Reddies have answered with 2 in the bottom of the sixth, 1-2. Jordan flies it to center, and Chappell comes on to make the catch for the second out of the inning. Monica Monreal digs in for the Reddies as Jordan is retired. Monreal 0 for 1, reached safely with a walk in the second, flew out to center in the fourth. Monreal digs in. Tansky looks at the instructional pad on the forearm, comes to the plate. Monreal swings the first pitch, high pop-up, shallow right. The ball drifts into foul territory, but it's caught by the first baseman Fields, and the inning is over. Henderson State, though, ties it. 2 hits, 2 runs, Reese singles, more homers. Henderson State ties it. We'll go to the 7th, knotted up at 2 on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. Henderson State and Harding tied 2-2. Top of the 7th. Brewer comes to the plate, fouled off. Count 0-1. So Beasley, who started for the Reddies, now works with a no decision, as the game was tied by the Reddies in the bottom of the 6th. Brewer, 0-1 fastball, strike 2. Clips the outside corner. Brewer took over in the top of the 5th, now works in the top of the 7th. 0-2 to Jones, fouls it off, stays alive. Harding looked as if they were going to get some insurance runs in the top of the 5th, and the Lady Bisons now ruining that missed opportunity. Harding left the bases loaded as Brewer misses high, 1-2. Faringa singled him to second. Then Blankenship was hit by a pitch. Cabana singled off the wall to right center field, but Harding did not score as Brewer gets the strikeout. and Jones goes down swinging. Then Brewer got a strikeout of Fraley and a ground out from Chappell to get out of the inning unscathed, and it stayed a 2-0 ball game. The Reddies tied it with a 2-run home run from Moore in the bottom half, and now Harding really wished they had an extra insurance run, and wishing they had the lead as Brewer pours a strike to Shano, Harding's third baseman and 3-hole hitter. Shano 0 for 3 with a RBI ground out today. 0-1. Just missed. Count goes 1-1. Shano drove home Harding's first run. It was an RBI ground out to the Reddies' first baseman, Monica Monreal. Monreal now is playing right for the Reddies as Morgan Reeve plays first. 1-1 from Brewer. 1-2. Brewer clips the inside corner. Brewer has worked 2 innings, 2 1/3. Struck out 2, looking for her third K. Doesn't get it as Shano stays alive. Fouls it off the end of the bat. Lines it down the first baseline, but it was always tailing away off the bat of the right-handed hitter. We got a good one here at D. White Field. Reddies and the visitors, the Lady Bisons, tied at 2, top of the 7th. First game of a 3-game set over the weekend. 1-2. Strike 3. Shano did not get a piece. It was in the dirt, kept in front by the catcher Moore, and Moore a fireball down to first to make sure Shano is out. So Brewer, 2 strikeouts to start the top of the 7th. Looking to retire the Lady Bisons in order. Fields digs in. Fields 0 for 2 with a walk. She takes an off-speed pitch outside, 1-0. Fields walked and was stranded at third in the first, and then grounded out to the second baseman, Zoe White, in the third and the fifth. 1-0 from Brewer. She comes to the plate. That's outside, 2-0. Again, Brewer has been very solid last few outings for the Reddies. Last 3 outings coming into this one for Brewer. 16 innings, 3 earned runs. That's going to get it done. 2-0. 3-0. In those last 3 outings for Brewer, in those last 16 innings, Brewer issued just 1 walk, but she's behind Fields 3-0, trying to get back in it with a strike. She does. Clips the outside corner, 3-1. Fields playing first, hitting cleanup for Harding. Henderson State's done a good job against the Harding bats today. Harding, one of the best hitting teams in the league. Just 7 hits, though. 3-1. Make it 3-2. Fields fouls it off down the first base line. Counts run full. 3-2 after Brewer started Fields with 3 straight balls. Mallory looking to get out of the inning and give the Reddies a chance to win it in the bottom half of the 7th. 3-2 from Brewer. Right back to her. She fields, fires, and throws out Fields. Henderson State with all the momentum. 2-2 ball game. The Reddies going to try to walk it off when we come back on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. Henderson State has a chance to win it in the bottom of the 7th. We're tied 2-2. The Reddies tied it with a 2-run home run from Abby Moore in the 6th. Zoe White leads it off in the 7th. White batting 6th. It'll be White, Reeve, and Beasley due up for HSU. Beasley might be pinch hit for. She's 0 for 2 strikeouts today. As White swings at the first pitch of the at-bat, hits it hard. Third baseman Shano crouches, jabs, fields it, and fires out White for the first out of the inning. So Henderson State's really been aggressive first, swinging on the first pitch. Last few at-bats, White hits it hard, but right at third baseman Shano, and White is retired 5-3 for the first out of the bottom of the 7th. Morgan Reeve digs in. She's 0 for 2. Reeve swings at the first pitch. This is a lazy fly ball out to right field. 2 pitches, 2 outs for Tansky as Fraley camps under it and makes the play. So Reeve goes 0 for 3. And this will bring up Beasley, who will hit. Beasley 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. But it only takes one swing of the bat to change your fortunes. And one swing of the bat to end this ball game. If Beasley can do it. Beasley takes a rising fastball, helmet high, ball 1, 1-0. Been a pretty quick game here at D. White Field. Bottom of the 7th, about an hour and 40 minutes so far. 1-0 to Beasley. Swing and a miss. Change up by Tansky, and Beasley swings through. Tansky, 6 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 5 Ks. 1-1 to Beasley. 1-2, Beasley fouled it back. All things considered, 2 runs and 4 hits for the Reddies, but Tansky came into this game with a .65 ERA, so she's coming off a no-hitter 3 days ago. So scoring 2 runs for the Reddies, honestly, doesn't look great. But once you find out who they were facing, that changes things a little. Tansky misses high, 1-2. Count goes even, 2-2. Tansky looking to retire the Reddies in order, bottom of the 7th, and bring the Lady Bisons bats back to the plate. And extra innings. 2-2 to Beasley. Swing and a miss. Beasley, 3 Ks today. And we'll have free softball as we head to the 8th when we come back on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field on the campus of Henderson State University. Beautiful skies. It's cloudy, but this time of night, just indigo skies here at Henderson State. Been a well-played ball game between the Reddies and the Lady Bisons. Top of the 8th, free softball. We're in extra innings here as Mallory Brewer remains in the circle and remains in relief. She starts Ashlyn Peterson with a strike. Here comes the 0-1. Off the end of the bat, dipping into left field, but Reese makes a running catch for out number 1. Nice play by Reese She had a good read off the bat and made a nice running play. She ranged to her left for the first out of the 8th. Brewer now 3 1/3, 3 hits, no walks, 3 Ks. She's been great. Brewer induces a ground ball. Reeves stabs at it, makes the play, and crawls to first base, sticks her glove on the bag, and gets Faringa by a step. What a play by Morgan Reeve. She looked like she was going through boot camp right there, crawling on the ground. But she gets it done. What a play by Reeve. Henderson State flashed in the leather in the top of the 8th. 2 outs now as Blankenship swings at the first pitch. This has popped up. Behind the second base bag, Ashlyn Taylor, the shortstop, makes the play. Harding retired in order in the blink of an eye. 3 up, 3 down. Less than 6 pitches in that inning. Brewer gets out of the 8th unscathed. Henderson State again will try to walk it off when we come back. 2-2 ball game on the Henderson State Sports Network.
Batting the shortstop, number 2, Ashlyn Taylor.
Welcome back to D. White Field, bottom of the 8th. Free softball continues. Reddies and the visiting Lady Bisons tied 2-2. Ashlyn Taylor leads off for the Reddies. Swings at the first pitch, swings through it. 0-1. Taylor 1 for 2 today. She had the Reddies' first hit in the 3rd. 0-1. 1-1, that's high. Taken up at the shoulders by Taylor. That was Lily Tansky's 100th pitch. Tansky's been good today, but Henderson State got to her in the 6th with a 2-run home run from Abby Moore. Taylor, another hearty swing, but comes up empty. 1-2. Taylor struck out in the 5th. That swinging strike 3 ended the inning, and Taylor swung so hard she fell down. She was swinging for the fences. Here comes the 1-2 from Tansky. Fouled straight back. Taylor stays alive. I said it back on Tuesday when the Reddies hosted Watchdog Baptist. The Reddies really need Taylor and Abby Moore to get going. Taylor and Moore, the 2 best hitters returning from last year on this Reddies squad. Taylor, arguably the Reddies' best hitter last couple of years. 1-2. Taylor stays alive with a breaking ball. Taylor, for her career, came into this one a .328 hitter. In 2020, in the COVID-shortened 2020, Taylor hit .351. As a freshman in 2019, in 55 starts, Taylor hit .346. Another 1-2. Another foul ball, straight back. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Score tied 2-2. Harding got its 2 in the top of the first. Henderson State its 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Tansky to the plate, 1-2. Taylor, deep fly ball, hooks out of play. Henderson State has really made Harding's pitcher Lily Tansky battle. Lots of 2-strike counts, lots of foul balls. Abby Moore was down 1-2, fouled a handful of pitches off, and then found something she could work with and hit a no-doubt home run that tied the game in the bottom of the 6th. 1-2 to Taylor. That's grounded foul down the third base line. Taylor stays alive. Taylor's seen a lot of pitches. Hopefully timing up Tansky. Taylor batting 9th, playing short for the Reddies today. So 9-1-2 due up in the inning for HSU. Here's another 1-2. Popped up, out of play. Taylor stays alive. Tansky hit the 100 pitch threshold earlier this inning. This will be her 108th pitch. She's already thrown 84 strikes. She pounds the zone. 1-2, Taylor. Another foul ball out of play. And this at-bat continues. Tansky for Harding came into this one with a .65 ERA. Tansky before this game had allowed just 3 earned runs in 5 starts in more than 32 innings. So even for Henderson State to score 2 runs today was somewhat impressive against arguably one of the best pitchers in the conference. Taylor with a long battle at the plate. Taylor moves up on the plate, back foot in the middle of the dish. Another 1-2 from Tansky. Taylor smacks this one foul, line drive. Ricochets off the netting in front of the Henderson State dugout. Taylor stays alive. Taylor, the local product out of Arkadelphia High School. She represents the game's winning run. Trying to get on board here to start the bottom of the 8th. 1-2. Taylor swings through. And after a long, arduous battle, Taylor goes down swinging. Good at bat from Taylor, but Tansky finally gets a swinging strike. That is her 7th K of the day, and Taylor goes down on the 1-2 changeup. This brings up Caitlin O'Quinn. She's 1 for 3, singled in the 3rd. First pitch called strike 1, outer half. O'Quinn struck out in the 1st, singled in the 3rd. Her single in the 3rd was right behind Taylor's single. But Taylor and O'Quinn were stranded on the base paths. O'Quinn fouled out to the 3rd baseman, Shano, in the 6th. She fouls off the 0-1, out of play 0-2. Tansky, the Harding pitcher, just slowing her pace a little bit, up over 115 pitches now. Here comes the 0-2. O'Quinn stays alive. Behind it, fouls it off out of play down the left field line. Once again, the Reddies battling with 2 strikes against them. O'Quinn out of the box, now back in. O'Quinn, a slap hitter for the Reddies, leads HSU with a .415 average. 0-2. O'Quinn appeared to check her swing. Home plate umpire checks with his secondary, and he agrees. O'Quinn kept the bat back. Count 1-2. Tansky, 7 strikeouts, just 1 walk today. 1-2. Popped up out of play. O'Quinn battling. Taylor struck out to start the bottom of the 8th after a double-digit pitch at bat. O'Quinn battles with 2 strikes against her. O'Quinn looking to get on base. She might be the Reddies' speediest player. 1-2. O'Quinn strikes out. May have tipped off the end of the bat, but into the glove of the catcher, Faringa. And back-to-back strikeouts for Tansky here in the bottom of the 8th. Kaylee Reese will dig in. Reese got things going in the bottom of the 6th. She singled to center and was brought home by the 2-run long ball of Abby Moore, which tied the game. Reese 1 for 3. Reese swings at the first pitch, fouls it back, 0-1. Reese has been perhaps the most consistent Reddies softball player in the last 3 or 4 years. She's starting her 150th game tonight for HSU. 0-1 to Reese. That's taken high at the shoulders, 1-1. So Reese starting her 150th game, playing in her 151st. Reese's career average right at 300, 301. So that's going to stay above the 300 threshold as Reese is 1 for 3 so far. 1-1. Popped up. It tails up and out of play, landing just in front of the bathrooms here at D. White Field. Count goes to 1-2. Tansky looking to strike out the side. Struck out Taylor on a 1-2 count. Struck out O'Quinn on a 1-2 count. Now has Reese on a 1-2 count. Reese looking to become the only Reddie with 2 hits today. 1-2. Reese off the hands. Lazy pop-up on the infield. Fields, the first baseman, runs to her right and makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. So a lengthy bottom of the 8th, even though the Reddies did not get any runners on board. And we'll go to the 9th. 2-2. Harding and Henderson on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. Sky's getting darker and darker as we approach 7 p.m. here in Arkadelphia. Harding bats to start the 9th. 2-2 ball game. Brewer remains in the circle and finds the outer edge for a strike on Harding's impressive freshman, Jordan Cabana. Cabana 1 for 3 today. Started the afternoon hitting .522. Brewer misses just high, 1-1. Harding with 2 runs in the 1st. Henderson State with 2 runs in the 6th. We're in our 2nd inning of free softball. Brewer misses outside, 2-1. Obviously a 7-inning game in college softball. We're in the top of the 9th. Henderson State looking to take the first game of a 3-game weekend set against the visiting Lady Bisons. Cabana tied up, fouls it off down the 3rd base line. 2-2. Brewer worked around 3 hits in the top of the 6th. All right, 3 base runners, I should say. 2 hits and 1 runner who got aboard with a hit by pitch. 2-2. Check swing, strike 3 called, and Brewer has her 4th K. Brewer not known as a strikeout queen, but Brewer 4 Ks now and 4 1/3. Brewer has been really solid since taking over for Leanne Beasley in the circle, and it appears that Harding will have a pinch hitter, as it was Madison Fraley's turn in the order. Fraley was scheduled to bat 9th, but it looks as if this will be Mackenzie Law, freshman out of Burleson, Texas, who digs in with the base paths clear and 1 out in the top of the 9th. Brewer gets the strike, outer edge. Brewer has really pounded the outside of the strike zone. Harding with 3 hits on Brewer, but they have only one of them with really hard hit balls. Brewer misses high and outside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the 9th, tie ball game, 2-2. Abby Moore for the Reddies tied it with a no-doubt home run over the left center field fence in the bottom of the 6th. 1-1, Brewer comes to the plate. This is hooking foul. Reese, the Reddies left fielder, in a full sprint, but never had a chance. Count 1-2 now. Law pinch hitting for Fraley. Law, making her 4th appearance, has 2 hits and 7 at-bats. Takes a ball low and outside. 2-2. Base is empty, 1 out. Brewer struck out Cabana looking to start the top of the 9th. Rock and fire for Brewer. Off the end of the bat, that's foul. Law behind it. Harding with 7 hits today, but none of them for extra bases. All singles for the Lady Bisons. Here comes the 2-2. High, above the helmet. Easy take for Law, and the count has run full. Brewer has not issued a walk today. (3-2). Lined right side of the infield and caught by the first baseman, Reeve. She left her feet and made a nice play. That's the 2nd time Reeve has flashed the leather. Brewer wins a big battle on a 3-2 count with Law, who lines out. And Brewer retires the 2nd Lady Bison here in the top of the 9th. Gets a strike inside corner on Mackenzie Chappell. Chappell 1 for 3 with a walk and a run. She scored the game's first run on her RBI ground out from Shano in the top of the 1st. That was an eternity ago, it seems like. 0-2 to Chappell now. She was late. Fouls it down the 3rd baseline with the she hits left-handed. Chappell, an interesting number, wears number 92. Crouched stance for Chappell. 0-2 from Brewer. Again, Chappell fouls it off. Chappell leans down the first baseline as she swings, trying to get in motion, trying to get her feet and her body turned toward first as she puts the bat on the ball. Trying to put the go-ahead run on the base paths. Chappell slaps it, sends it left side. Going to be a tough play for Taylor, and she can't make it. Pops out of her hand. And that will be ruled an error on Ashlyn Taylor, as Chappell gets aboard with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Still tied up 2-2. The go-ahead run for the Lady Bisons now on the base paths, as Hannah Jones digs in. Chappell takes off, but she'll return to first as Jones sends it foul and out of play. Jones started this game 2 for 2, 2 singles in the 1st and the 2nd, but lined out to the 3rd baseman Jordan in the 5th and struck out in the 7th, so now she's 2 for 4. Chappell takes off again, and once more we'll have to return to first base. Jones fouls it off, out of play. 72 pitches and 49 strikes for Brewer. So strike rate up over 70%. Not surprising. Brewer has always pounded the strike zone. 0-2, Chappell again taking off. And once again, we'll have to return to first. So hopefully the gas tank is full for Chappell, because that's the 3rd time she's gotten into a full sprint and 3rd time she's been sent back. Brewer ahead 0-2. Brewer looking to end the 9th with her 5th strikeout. Hit hard right at Taylor, the shortstop. She looked like she was going to flip to second. White wasn't there, so Taylor throws to first, and Reeve with a full split to make the catch. Morgan Reeve in the field has been fantastic, and the Reddies work around a 2-out base runner. HSU, once again, will have a chance to win it. When we come back, we'll play the bottom of the 9th on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. Abby Moore with a chance to play hero for the 2nd time. She digs in to lead off the bottom of the 9th. Moore had the game-tying home run, a 2-run bomb in the bottom of the 6th. Moore swings, first pitch, and pops it up on the infield. Snow-coned by the 3rd baseman, Shano. It hit the palm of her glove and popped out dangerously, but she squeezes it for the first out of the inning. Tansky has gone the distance so far for Harding. 8 1/3 now, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 8 Ks. Addie Jordan digs in, 0 for 3. Jordan swings at the first pitch, fouls it straight back. Henderson State has been very aggressive in the latter portions of this game. A lot of first pitch swinging, or first pitch swings, I should say, for the Reddies, and the Reddies have also stayed alive in a lot of 2-strike counts. They just haven't been able to get that one big hit here in extra innings as Jordan takes a fastball at the knees. It clips the inside corner, strike 2. Jordan, a pretty quiet day at the plate, 0 for 3, struck out looking in the 2nd. 2 flyouts in the 4th and the 6th, respectively. That's high and outside. Easy take for Jordan. 1-2. Jordan's had a really nice day in the field. We've seen Jordan play catcher so far this season, but today she's at the hot corner at 3rd, where she's been dependable with the leather. 1-2 from Tansky, looking for her 9th K. This is roped foul down the 3rd base line off the netting in front of the Henderson State dugout. Jordan trying to stay alive, trying to find something she can handle. Jordan, the true freshman out of Conway, Arkansas. Tansky, another long look at the instructional pad on the forearm off speed. Jordan hits it hard, but a ground ball shot right at the second baseman, Cabana. She doesn't have to move to the right or the left. She gloves and fires for the second out of the inning. Here in the bottom of the ninth. 2-2 ball game. Harding got their two in the top of the first and looked like they were ready to run away with this one, but Henderson State's pitching staff settled down. Reddies got two in the bottom of the sixth with a two-run shot from Abby Moore. And we're tied in the bottom of the ninth. Monica Monreal fouls it off and out of play. 0-1. Monreal took the first and only free pass that Tansky offered today. Monreal walked on 4 pitches in the second, but was stranded at first. 0-1 from Tansky. That's low in the dirt, 1-1. That last foul ball off the bat of Monreal was Tansky's 100th strike she's thrown. Not 100th pitch, 100th strike. Pitch count. This will be her 129th pitch. Check swing Monreal. Home plate umpire checks with his secondary, and he says Monreal went. Not a lot of protest from the Reddies right fielder. 1-2. Monreal started the game at first, but backed up into the outfield. It went to right. Morgan Reeve took over at the first base bag and has been pretty fantastic. 1-2. Monreal shoots it out to center. Chappell steps to her left and makes a routine play for out number 3. We are into inning check. Welcome back to D. White Field. We're in the 10th. 2-2. Brewer faces Nicole Shano, who leads off our double-digit inning. Shano takes one high and inside, 1-0. Reaches out, sends this one fouled on the first baseline, 1-1. Shano 0 for 4. Had the game's first RBI in the top of the first. She brought home Mackenzie Chappell with a ground out to the first baseman Monreal. Monreal now is in right field, and Morgan Reeve is at first. 1-1 from Brewer. This is fisted into right field, and Shano has a leadoff single for Harding. Good piece of hitting by Shano. Inside outs it. Muscled it up and sends it to right, and we may have a change as Harding's head coach Phil Berry talks with our home plate umpire, and we will. Harding will use a pinch runner here as Shano comes off the base paths. Harding replaces Shano with Faith Waugh. Wow. Sophomore out of Alvarado, Texas. She represents the go-ahead run for Harding here in the top of the 10th. Fields digs in. Playing first and cleaning up for Harding. Fields squares to bunt. Wall takes off. She slides to second safely. And it looked for a second like she might have a chance to take third because the Reddies third baseman, Addie Jordan, had run up on the bunt attempt, and third base for a second was completely vacant, but Wall stays at second after the stolen base. So Harding takes away the conventional double play. They have the go-ahead run in scoring position. 0-1 the count. Brewer to the plate. Fields lays down the bunt, fouls it off. Count goes 0-2. Fields unable to get the bunt down. And I'm not sure, I can't imagine they will keep the bunt on now, as if she fouls the bunt off, it's a strikeout. Fields 0 for 3 today, walked and was stranded at third in the first. Ground outs in the third, the fifth, and in the seventh. 0-2 from Brewer, looking for her fifth K. Doesn't get it. Fields thought about it, but keeps the bat back wisely and takes a ball high and outside, 1-2. Brewer has been excellent. 5 innings of relief in Leanne Beasley, who started and pitched the first 4 for HSU. 1-2 from Brewer. Fields hits it hard and high. Deep center field. O'Quinn camps under it. Wall tags, but will stay at second after a strong throw by O'Quinn. Keeps her there. So a good play by O'Quinn. And Wall will stay at second as Ashlyn Peterson digs in. Peterson swings through the first pitch of the at-bat, 0-1. Wall on second. 0-1 from Brewer. Outside, 1-1. That fastball into the opposite batter's box evens up the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. We're in the top of the 10th. 2-2 ball game. In our third inning of free softball here at D. White Field. 1-1. Brewer gets the call. Off speed. Peterson tightened up and kept the bat back. Takes strike 2. 1-2 from Brewer. Brewer looking for a big second out. 1-2 to Peterson. Peterson fouls it. Stays alive. Harding's leadoff single by Shano was their 8th hit, but all of them have been singles, no extra base hits for the Lady Bisons. Another 1-2 from Brewer. Another foul ball off the bat of Peterson. .83 pitches now thrown by Mallory Brewer, 58 of them strikes. Around 75% of Brewer's pitches have been strikes. That is excellent. Here comes another 1-2. Just above the belt. 2-2. Henderson State thought they had the second out of the inning, and they thought they had Brewer's 5th strikeout, but the right call. Count goes to 2-2. Swung on. Ground ball. Right side. The first baseman, Reeve, ranges over, makes the play, and steps on first. Wall advances to third as Harding has the go-ahead run now, standing on third with Briley Faringa digging in. Faringa, the lone, one of the few upperclassmen in this Harding lineup, trying to be the hero, give Harding the lead. Corner infielders playing in. First pitch from Brewer. Strike one. Brewer has gone 5 2/3 now, given up 4 hits, walked none, struck out 4. 0-1 to Faringa. 1-1. Shano singled to right to lead off the inning for Harding. She was replaced on the base paths by the pinch runner Faith Waugh. Waugh stole second and was advanced to third with a ground out. Faringa hit by a pitch and will go to first, but not the worst thing in the world because that puts the force at second. And the Reddies now have 2 opportunities to get a force out, obviously at first. And now they have a chance to get a force out up the middle as Chelsea Blankenship digs in. Blankenship, one of 2 Lady Bison's batters that have multi-hit games today. Hannah Jones 2 for 5, Blankenship 2 for 3. Blankenship was also hit by a pitch in the 6th. So Blankenship has reached safely in 3 of 4 plate appearances, and Harding will have another pinch runner. This will be Ashton Bryce taking over for Faringa at first. First pitch to Blankenship, and that breaks our 2-2 tie. Blankenship scorches a single past a diving Ashlyn Taylor at shortstop, and Harding leads 3-2 in the top of the 10th. So Blankenship came in 2 for 3 to that at-bat. She's now 3 for 4, and if Harding can hold on, she's going to get MVP honors for the Lady Bisons, who now have 2 on and 2 out, with Jordan Cabana at the dish. One 0 as Brewer misses. First pitch of the at-bat. Cabana swings through. 1-1. Two on, 2 out for Harding. Cabana takes a strike outside corner. 1-2. Harding gets a single from Blankenship through the left side. It scored Waugh, the pinched runner, and Harding takes a 3-2 lead in the top of the 10th. They try to add to it with Cabana, who's 1 for 4 today. Here comes the 1-2 from Brewer. Cabana reaches out. Soft, rolling ground ball right side. Reeve makes the play, steps on the bag for the 3rd out of the inning, but Harding pushes a run across, and they lead 3-2. They'll have a chance to end it with Tansky in the circle when we come back on the Henderson State Sports Network. Welcome back to D. White Field. We're in the bottom of the 10th. Henderson State trails 3-2. Harding pushed one across in the top half, and Henderson State must have at least one in the inning to keep this one going. Zoe White digs in, swings at the first pitch, hits it high in the air to center field. Chappell gathers under it and makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out for Lily Tansky in the bottom of the 10th. Tansky back in line for the win. 9 1/3 now for Tansky. She has gone the distance and looking to run through the finish line, as the Reddies have 1 out against them and nobody on base here in the bottom of inning number 10. First pitch to Morgan Reeves. She swings and fouls it back. 0-1. Tansky, 9 1/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 1 walk, 8 Ks. 0-1. Reeve lines a lazy looper down the third base line into foul territory, and Shano turns the shoulders, flips the hips, and makes a running catch. Henderson State down to their final out. They will have a pinch hitter as Alyssa Dixon will dig in for Leanne Beasley. Dixon off the bench and into a big spot here. Dixon playing in her 15th game. Dixon replaces Beasley in the lineup. Beasley was 0 for 3. Dixon will hit as Tansky looks to end the game here in the bottom of the 10th. First pitch to Dixon. Strike at the knees, right down the center of the plate. Good start for Tansky. Oh 1. 0-2 now. Dixon fouls it back out of play. Oh 2 to Dixon. Reddies down to their final strike. Dixon swings through, and this ball game is over. Harding wins 3-2 in 10 innings. Henderson State battles, but the Bisons come up victorious in a 3-2 victory in 10 innings. Harding led by their hurler, Lily Tansky. She goes the distance. 10 innings for Tansky, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 9 Ks. The loss, unfortunately, tagged to Mallory Brewer. Brewer, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run against her, no walks, 4 Ks. Harding improves to 8-2 overall, 4-2 in GAC play. Henderson State falls to 3-12, 2-7 in conference play. This was the first of a 3-game set here on D. White Field this weekend. We'll be back in action at noon, 12 p.m. tomorrow, March 13th, for a doubleheader. First pitch at 12. The second game slated to start approximately 2 p.m., 30 minutes following the final out of Game 1. So join us in less than 24 hours as we'll be back with more Ready softball. Thanks for listening on the Henderson State Sports Network.